What is good, everybody? It is your boy Champagne Chico, and we are back with the rebuilds. And this rebuild is going to be the New York Giants. This is before the Daniel Jones re-signing. This is before all of that. I had recorded this at one point. I had to stop recording, and then I never got around to it again and started doing other rebuilds. But with the way that the offseason has gone for them, I want to change what's happened, basically. I want to change the whole outlook of what they've been doing just because it seems like they're making the right decisions, but I think they can make better decisions. But before we get into the video, I'm going to have to ask you to go down there and like and subscribe for me if you like this type of content, like rebuilds, Madden in general, or rebuilds in general. Just let me know down in the comments below and hit that subscribe button so you can see it on your YouTube more frequently. But the New York Giants have re-signed Daniel Jones to a 4-year deal, if I'm not mistaken. They haven't re-signed Saquon. Saquon doesn't want to sign the franchise tag, which he probably just won't play if they don't end up going to an extension or him getting traded. Dexter Lawrence, I think, was re-signed recently, so that's a good thing for them. That's what they should do. It should be Saquon and Dexter Lawrence, and that's what I'm planning to do if Saquon wants to come to the team. But I have a certain plan in place, but we're going to get into it. Now, going into the re-signing period for the team, you do have a lot of players that you have to re-sign that are important. They decided to re-sign Daniel Jones. Me personally, I don't plan on it. The only thing about Daniel Jones right now is the uncertainty of him being able to be that quarterback, that franchise quarterback for the team. And they really gave him a lot of money that I would not personally give him, but I would pay Saquon Barkley for 5 years. Saquon, I think, is going to keep being as great as he was last season and just keep it pushing, really. I don't think I have to overpay him. His interest is high for us. A neutral deal should do the trick. Maybe bump this up to 6 just to make sure that he comes to the team. And this is exactly the offer that he wanted. So Saquon is going to stay on the team. We keep our generational running back. Now, Julian Love did leave the team this offseason. A man that you would want to keep on the team. You don't have another strong safety. You're probably not planning to draft a strong safety like they didn't in the draft. Julian Love is somebody that I can give a neutral deal to. Excited to sign the offer. So we keep Julian Love on the team for about 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Sterling Shepard, old. He's getting older. And I don't think I'm going to be re-signing him. I don't blame him for not re-signing him. Darius Slayton is somebody that could possibly be on the team. It's not the most ideal situation. I mean, I know that he's 26. He could develop in some way. I just don't know about a 2-year deal for him. I do want to keep the wide receiver core that we have. I'm not trying to spend too much. I'm looking at the salary cap right now, but he is going to come back on a 2-year deal. If anything, I will trade him. Isaiah Hodgins was very solid for them this year. Doesn't really want to come back, so we'll give him a player-friendly deal. He's excited to sign the offer. He's young, so I'm not worried about a 3-year deal. Richie James, I'm not planning to re-sign. He is 27. Darius Slayton has been more on the consistent side of being good for them, really. Jamie Gillen, punter. I mean, you got to keep your special teams, you know. Player friendly. I think free agency will be better. All right, that's fine by me. Cornerbacks, Fabian Moreau. We don't have a lot of good cornerbacks, but he's not going to be much of an addition to us. I'm not planning to re-sign Daniel Jones. If anything, I'm planning to draft a quarterback, surprisingly enough, just to test out how good these quarterbacks are. And if they're not good, then we get one in the next draft. But we have to have some sort of a competent quarterback. And that's my plan. That is my plan. Mock drafts right now, I think we have one of the lower picks in the draft, if I'm not mistaken. The 26th pick with Deonte Banks. I think that's who they got in real life. Yep, it was Deonte Banks in the first round, which I wouldn't mind drafting him because we have absolutely no cornerbacks right now. But if a wide receiver falls to us, if, you know, any of these options that we could have, in terms of quarterback. If Hendon Hooker's in the second round, I wouldn't mind that either, just to see how he does this season. But that is more of a safe option. I know Hendon Hooker ended up going to... He went to the Lions. He did go to the Lions. I was split between the Lions and the Vikings, but that's probably going to be a good situation for him. Jared Goff is probably not going to be the best scenario for the Lions of the future. I haven't been too convinced on Jared Goff at the moment, but they got Hendon Hooker, I think, in the third or fourth round, so it wasn't bad value for him. You have a safe backup option for Jared Goff. Can transition him at some point, but $85.2 million going into free agency. You can make a lot of moves. You can do a lot of things to help this team out, but we have to see what we're able to do. And for this free agency, we're making a lot of signings, or attempting to make a line of signings for positions that we do need. You got two middle linebackers because they do run 3-4. So we need Bobby Okereke and TJ Edwards. Left guard, right guard are both positions that we need. Center is a little too expensive for my liking in this free agency for not that great of value, because McGovern is just going to start regressing after the first year. And then Desmond King on a 1-year deal is the ideal plan. Some 2-year deals, some 3-year deals. I think I try to give TJ Edwards the best contract possible. I might give him a little more now that I know that I'm not going to be signing one of the top free agents like CJ Gardner-Johnson or something like that, because we have Xavier McKinney, we have Julian Love. I don't think we really have to worry about overpaying for CJ Gardner-Johnson for 6 years. He could possibly not even be that good for us. Readjusting TJ Edwards' contract, I'm pretty confident with being able to get these guys right now. Ben Powers might be somebody that we might not get. I think I can find one in the draft if I'm not able to get him, but we'll go ahead and evaluate these, and they end up all deciding, except for Bobby Okereke, and all of them decides to come to the team. A 3-year deal for Isaac, a 1-year deal for Desmond, 3-year deal for Ben Powers. So we have our O-line of the future and a middle linebacker one for the future with a 5-year deal going to TJ Edwards. Bobby Okereke is the only one, or Bobby Okereke is the only one that hasn't decided. And we're going to evaluate again, and he's going to end up coming to the team, having our two middle linebackers in that backfield, solidifying our defense, because we got another cornerback that can be our CB2 as our CB3 develops, because he is star development, but I don't trust him as a CB2 just yet. $39.9 million going into the draft. I'm not too crazy about signing anybody else in free agency right now. Don't necessarily think we need to in terms of the value. Quarterback, I'm going to worry about in the draft. Center, I'm going to have to worry about in the draft because I'm not overpaying for McGovern. Wide receiver could be a situation, but that's also something that I'm not sure about. I think I'm just going to ride the wave on that. It's crazy how Kenny Golladay is taking so much money from us right now, but we'll try to figure out what to do with that. A left end could be ideal. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get one in the draft with everything else that I have to get. So I might try to get a left end, and I think that's going to do it for this free agency. We're just going to sign Brandon Graham to a 1-year deal. I'm not too worried about the future in terms of the left end position. It's a pretty frequent position in the drafts, so I think I will worry about that in future drafts in terms of getting them for the future. But Brandon Graham is going to come on a 1-year deal. I'm looking to have Saquon be the focal point, and the quarterback is just whoever. Basically, in basketball terms, it's whoever defense on the quarterback, because everything else should be able to complement it, as I do plan to draft in the first round for wide receiver or cornerback. Just depends on what's there and how the draft drops. But we're going to have to see what we end up doing in the draft. And now in the draft, as we skip forward to our pick, the 26th pick to be specific, Broderick Jones does go the pick before, who ended up going pretty high in the real NFL draft. Strong safety with Brian Branch could be a situation. Cam Smith is a solid option. There's no wide receivers really that are worth the position that we're at. I need to take a look at where Hendon Hooker, he's projected around 3 to 4, so I'll wait till then to get him. Yes, he is a day 3 talent, but he could develop with our offense. He definitely could. Cam Smith is probably the most ideal situation for where we're at right now for this draft. Not worried about the linebackers. Tight end could be very good because we have Bellinger. We did sign some cornerbacks, so it might be ideal. It might be ideal to get a tight end here. It just might be the situation that we go with Michael Mayer. He has A to C catching traffic, A to C catching, B deep route, A to C run block. Has some solid physicals. B spectacular catch, B medium route, B deep route, C pass block, A impact blocking. I mean, I don't want Bellinger to be my starting tight end. I don't, and I think I can wait to get my center of the future and also my quarterback. We got the left end. We have really everything that we need right now. Just tight end is a 71 overall. I would like to fill that in. Michael Mayer is hidden development with 86 acceleration, 82 speed, 79 jumping, and 78 agility. Most ideal for us right now. I know that it's not really looked at as a main priority for the Giants, or wasn't looked at as a main priority for the Giants in the draft, but it helps. It helps tremendously. The centers are falling off the board right now. Joe Tippmann was a second-round pick in the real-life draft. He is a great center in real life. A, awareness, B, pass block power, and B, run block. It's a risk that we can take. It definitely is. He can get to the second level pretty well. I don't know if it's... I hope it's the same in the game. I think the centers are going to be taken before the quarterbacks are. I'm going to take Joe Tippmann here. I like his stats. I like his physicals. We need a center. Joe Tippmann to the Giants. Hidden development with 86 strength and 81 acceleration is what we need. Filling out our offense as much as possible because our defense is pretty solid for this next year. Hendon Hooker did get taken. Tanner McKee is the one that's left on the board now. He's okay. He's definitely okay. I think he's a good one-year option, see how he does type of thing. Tanner McKee out of Stanford. He's a great pocket passer. He's horrible under pressure. I can tell you that much. I have to draft a quarterback. I have to. Tanner McKee coming to the Giants. Normal development as expected. 89 throw power, 76 speed, 80 jumping, 79 agility, and 81 acceleration. Just got to roll with the punches on the quarterbacks. And I think to try to add to our receiver room, because I think our receiver room needs a little bit more help than the cornerback room at the moment. Xavier Hutchinson is somebody that I liked a lot, IRL, but he's a deep threat out of Iowa State. Could really help this offense because the wide receivers are a bit iffy right now. He's around 2 to 3 projection, has dropped to the 4th round. I wouldn't mind taking him and see how he does with this team. Normal development, 90 acceleration, 85 agility, 85 change of direction, 87 jumping, and 88 speed. 6'2 deep threat. Pretty tall for a deep threat, so hopefully he ends up panning out for us. Garrett Williams has fallen here out of Syracuse. He is a solid zone corner. I would not mind having him also because I don't think that we've drafted a cornerback in this draft, and I want to draft at least one. He's already fallen to the 5th round. I would not mind having him. All the cornerbacks that are supposedly above him aren't as good as him, so he will be coming to the team. Normal development, of course, 90 acceleration, 86 agility, 86 change of direction, 89 speed, and 87 jumping, wearing number 852 and 192. We need a punter. And this is my last pick of the draft. Bryce Behringer out of Michigan State. B awareness, B injury, B kick accuracy. Best case scenario for us right now, we need a punter because we were not able to re-sign our punter in free agency. So he's going to be coming to the team with 95 kick power and 76 acceleration. Okay. Well, I'll take a look at the UDFAs after this draft, but if I don't find anything, then you'll just see me at the start of next season. And at the start of the season, the team that we're going to be starting out with has Tanner McKee as a 67 overall at quarterback. Basically the same thing as Daniel Jones at that point. Daniel Jones was like a 71. I'm sure McKee will be up there by the end of the season. Saquon Barkley at starting running back. Darius Slayton is our wide receiver 1 with Hodgins and Washington after him. And Xavier Hutchinson is the wide receiver 4 at a 71 overall. Michael Mayer is a 74 hidden development. Evan Neal needs to develop soon. He definitely needs to develop soon, but we'll have to see if that happens. Bellinger is going to be our fullback since he is the backup. And the defense looks pretty solid. The defense does not look bad at all. I don't mind it. Garrett Williams is a 72, so that's good for us. That definitely helps us a lot, but I'm confident with this team right now. I think we can make a push for the playoffs this year, even with the quarterback that we have. We just have to see if it ends up happening, and we'll worry about the negotiating with players at the midseason mark. And like I said, I'm just playing. At the midseason mark, we are 5-2, which is very good for us right now. It is very good for us. We can take a look at our quarterback and see if he has developed at all. And he is a 69 overall. Tippmann is a superstar. Wow. I was not expecting that, but I like it. I like it a lot. Defense looks solid still. TJ Edwards is up to an 86. Everybody is developing. Everybody's doing well right now. I'm pleasantly surprised at Joe Tippmann right now. I liked him. I liked him in real life, but I wasn't sure if they're going to do him justice in the game. But stats and awards, as we are 5-2, we're 9th in offensive yards, which is fantastic for us. Defensive, 18th. And Tanner McKee's doing pretty well for a round 3 pick, if I'm not mistaken. 1,800 yards, 12 TDs and 7 interceptions on 67% passing. Saquon has 643 yards and 8 TDs. Definitely one of the main contributors in terms of our scoring. Receiving, Darius Slayton has 438 and 3 TDs. Hodgins has 435 and 4 TDs. Michael Mayer has 358 yards. Defense, TJ Edwards has the most tackles. TFLs, Leonard Williams has 6. Ojulari has 4. And Graham has 4. Okereke has 3, and so does Lawrence. Sacks, Leonard Williams has 4. Kayvon Thibodeau has 4, and Dexter Lawrence has 3.5. Interceptions, Xavier McKinney has 2, and Adoree Jackson has 2. So the team overall is doing pretty well at the midseason mark. Hopefully we can keep this up. We are 5-2 right now, so we would need Tanner McKee to keep developing and keep progressing. And I think this is the year that Dexter Lawrence is off his contract, but we have a significant amount of money that we can use. And I think our main priority right now is getting these two right here, in Andrew Thomas and Dexter Lawrence, breakout talents for the team. You can't really risk losing them at this point. I would hope that he accepts a neutral deal. No longer term commitment, no deal. He has his interest completely full. I want to sign Andrew Thomas long-term anyways, so that's exactly the offer that he wants, a 6-year deal. A little bit of an overpay, but I'm not minding it at all. Xavier McKinney is 25 years old and an 83. Adoree Jackson is 27, wanting a 3-year deal. His re-sign interest is all the way up. He has to take this, and he's going to stay on the team. So he could be a solid CB2 if we end up finding somebody else. A right end in Leonard Williams, 29 years old. I'll do a neutral. All right, he wants to stay on this contract. Dexter Lawrence, I don't know why you didn't accept. I don't know why. I'm going to give Graham Gano his 1-year deal that he wants. He could find a better team in free agency. We'll see about that. Brandon Graham, Desmond King are both people that I don't really want to sign. Darnay Holmes has not developed at all, but we're not going to be able to re-sign him at this moment. $62 million. Xavier McKinney, I'm kind of teetering on. Because he doesn't really want to come to the team that much. I could find a better free safety possibly. McKinney's a great player. I just don't know if I'm trying to overpay for him. I don't know. I don't think that he's going to develop as much as he should. Dexter Lawrence is going to be my main priority, so I'm going to save the money that I have left for him. And yeah, we're 5-2, so I don't think that we're going to worry about looking at the college players right now. If we end up falling off, then we'll look at that at the end of the season. So I'm not going to put my mind too much into the draft. So we will simulate to the end of the season as an 81 overall or 82 overall team and an 81 overall offense and see how we finish it off. And at the end of the season, we won the NFC with a 12-5 record. Wow. I was not expecting that. I assumed that we were going to make it to the wild card, but not win the NFC. Tanner McKee is up to a 71 overall. Michael Mayer is at a 79. Saquon is up to a 99 overall. Evan Neal is developing. I think the only thing this offseason would be wide receiver. But our team is solid. Our team is solid overall. I mean, you can't really go wrong with this right now. We are winning. We won the NFC probably from a tiebreaker, but I'll take it. 18th in offensive yards, and the defense was 7th in the NFL. Tanner McKee had 4,100 yards, 28 TDs, and 18 interceptions. This is what I'm talking about when I didn't have to overpay Daniel Jones, because you can implement any quarterback into that Giants offense, and he'll do just fine. 1,500 yards and 19 TDs for Saquon. Receiving, Darius Slayton had 1,004 TDs. Isaiah Hodgins had 908 TDs. Wan'Dale Robinson had 690 and 7 TDs. And then Michael Mayer was 679 and 6 TDs. We're not worried about the blocking, even though it seems like the offensive line was stellar. TJ Edwards had the most tackles on the season as a middle linebacker. Leonard Williams had 14 TFLs. Ojulari had 12, and Okereke had 9, with Thibodeau having 8 sacks. Thibodeau had 10.5. Dexter Lawrence had 10, and Ojulari had 8. Interceptions, Xavier McKinney had 3, Adoree Jackson had 2, and TJ Edwards had 1, with every other cornerback basically, or defensive back, having the same amount of interceptions. Our team is performing. Our team is performing right now, and I think we can keep this going, as we do have to simulate to the division round to see who we end up facing in the playoffs at the moment. And we're going to be facing the Dallas Cowboys. Oof, that's a tough first matchup, but we have to be able to stop that defense. And as the Cowboys do start off with the ball, our defense makes them punt it on the first drive of the game, and we immediately go downfield, but turn the ball over at the goal line. Not getting any points up on the board, but they're not able to do anything either. Saquon gets the touchdown, a huge rush, about 80 yards on that rush. Absolutely insane, coming from the generational running back. And the Cowboys seem to have some sort of momentum, but they're not able to get much, but a penalty gets them the first down by Dexter Lawrence. They get knocked back a little bit, and they turn the ball over because Chris Boswell missed the 43-yard field goal, and they immediately get a pick by Malik Hooker right after. In field goal range, and they're going to go down and possibly get a touchdown. Oh, they settle for the field goal, a 20-yard field goal to get some points up on the board, and the Giants miss the 58-yard field goal. It is a game of missed field goals right now. A 15-yard penalty knocks them into scoring range, and they're going to get their first touchdown of the day. A 10-7 lead for the Cowboys, and our offense has to answer back. But Tanner McKee is throwing picks right now, giving the Cowboys every opportunity to take an extensive lead in the game. 17-7, 30 seconds left on the clock. We got to be able to do something here. 11 seconds left with Wan'Dale Robinson putting us into almost the red zone. We get to the 10-yard line with 1 second left, and we take the field goal with that 1 second and knock it down to a touchdown lead for them. We do start off with the ball, but we're not able to do anything on the first drive, as the Cowboys are not able to do anything either, but it's just back and forth. As they do take the field goal to take a 10-point lead, we're trying to get some points to keep this game close. 3rd and 16, 4th and 16, and we're going to settle for the field goal, knocking it down to a 1-touchdown lead again as the start of the fourth quarter. The Cowboys punt it back to us. 1st and 10, 3rd and 2, 4th and inches. Are they going to go for it? They don't. They punt it away. The rookie punter puts them within the 5, but they're able to get out very quickly and are going to punt it back to us. They had some momentum going. 4th and 10 at the 50-yard line. They're not going to be able to do much, but they go for it and convert with Darius Slayton. Michael Mayer getting a 19-yard reception. 2-minute warning. 0-yard rush for Tanner McKee. 3rd and 5. We get to 1st and goal. 2nd and goal. And we get the touchdown to tie up the game 20-20. And the Cowboys get stopped by us. Once again, a penalty knocks us forward a good amount. And we get into field goal range. 1st and 10. 2nd and 13 with 26 or 22 seconds left on the clock at the 26-yard line. 3rd and 10. And we're going to OT. Did we miss the field goal? That's absolutely insane. And the Cowboys are getting into field goal range. 4th and 1. They settle for the field goal. We have to be able to get more than that. 3rd and 1, 4th and 9. And that is going to do it. We get knocked out in the divisional round against the Cowboys. When we had every chance to win that, we choked at every opportunity and lose by 3 against the Dallas Cowboys. We have to go into next season trying to figure out what we have to do to fix this team. At the end of 2023, with an unfortunate exit of the playoffs, C. Chico wins Coach of the Year. And none of our players won any of the other awards. Jalen Carter's on the Cardinals. And the San Francisco 49ers beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy winning Super Bowl MVP. Okay. Wow. That is impressive. I didn't think that he was going to be playing this year, but that's great for him. Again, we're going after Dexter Lawrence. I'll give him a 5-year deal. I don't mind it. I don't mind paying him that money. A great defensive tackle, 5-year deal, has to accept that. Offer's perfect. We keep our defensive tackle of the future. Xavier McKinney's up to superstar. Now I have to re-sign him. A 5-year deal for Xavier McKinney. Superstar. I'm excited to sign such a great offer. We keep our defense, or our defensive core, really. Graham Gano, I give him a 2-year deal. I mean, I don't know what else he wants, really. I enjoyed playing for you, but I think free agency is going to do me better. I don't know about that, because I think you're still going to be in free agency by the start of next season. But we will go into free agency with this amount of money. We have $83.5 million in cap. A great amount right now. We can look at the mock draft before we get into free agency just to get a look at where we're at. We are the 27th pick once again. I think left tackle Bob Harris is who they have us taking. I'm not sure if I want to take a tackle. I'm pretty comfortable with our offensive line right now. I don't know why I would waste a pick on that. Not a lot of picks that you can really make with our position right now. I would like to take a quarterback. Quarterback would be pretty ideal. I could trade up into that range in terms of this first overall pick if I give the right amount of value. I'm just going to have to see how this free agency goes and see what we're able to do in terms of the players that we bring in and see how this team looks. I think this is what I'm going to stick with for right now. Depending on how this goes is really going to decide what we're going to do in the draft. Justin Herbert to come to the New York Giants. There has been rumors circulating of if the Chargers even want to pay Justin Herbert next season. He's been great. But paying a quarterback right now is a lot of money. Some teams are not that desperate to do it. Maybe they want to start fresh. But T. Higgins is another one to be our wide receiver 1 on the team. We have a solid wide receiver core, but adding T. Higgins would be pivotal. And Jonathan Jones, because our cornerback room is pretty weak right now. And even if I do draft a cornerback in the draft, it's not going to help us out as much as it should. So these are the 3 that I'm trying to go after. I'm going to go ahead and evaluate these. And 2 of them decide, and both of them decide to come to the team. Jonathan Jones has not decided yet. We're going to do this one more time. And he has decided to come to the team. So we got all 3 of these players. 7-year deal for Justin Herbert. He's locked down until he's 32. T. Higgins on a 5-year deal until he's 30. And Jonathan Jones, a 1-year deal. Just enough for us to be able to go into next season comfortably with a solid team. So now we go into the draft and have to see what pick we really want to make. I am planning to just stick and pick for right now. I don't think I'm going to trade up for any cornerbacks. It seems uncertain in this draft. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate to our pick, and hopefully the left end that we want is here so we can fill in that position. And he is here. DeMar Campbell. He was a round 2 to 3 projection, but he has jumped up to a round 1 to 2. So we need to fill in that position regardless. I will worry about cornerback in the next round. A tackle, B power moves, physicals. They're all solid, literally. B hit power, A tackle, B power moves, B awareness, C block shedding. He is a power rusher, 6'5", 274, 21 years old, out of Colorado. Hidden development, 88 strength, 81 speed, 84 acceleration, and 76 agility. It's going to be solid for us. It's definitely going to be solid for us. Just have to get some cornerbacks, and I think we'll be solid on this team. This cornerback fell out of the first round, but I don't quite understand why. Alfonso Woods. Actually, I'm going to look at Kari Givens real quick. Might be a little better. We'll look at Alfonso Woods before I make that decision. Before I make that decision. Physicals are okay. B tackle, C zone coverage, C press, C catching, B awareness. I think I'm going to take Kari Givens. He seems to be the better zone corner. Seems to be what we run. I'm going to take Kari Givens. 91 speed, 83 jumping, 89 change of direction, 90 agility, and 92 acceleration. 6'2", 199 out of FSU. We're sending our 3rd, 4th, and 5th round pick to the Bengals for their 2nd round pick next year. I'm not too concerned about what's going on in this draft in terms of the team. We got the team needs. We have a center. Right tackle, Evan Neal, is still developing. Wide receiver, we just signed T. Higgins. We have a solid core around him. And Michael Mayer is solid too. I'm not extremely concerned about it. So we're going to go to the start of the regular season and see how this team looks. And at the start of the regular season, our team at an 86 overall has Justin Herbert at starting QB, Saquon Barkley, T. Higgins, Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodgins, and Wayne Robinson, I think is the way that you say it. Michael Mayer is our tight end. Evan Neal is up to a 77. Our line is solid. I didn't see a reason why we would have to draft one in the draft. Our defense looks great. Xavier McKinney still a superstar. TJ Edwards and Bobby Okereke are solid. They're solid. And Campbell's a 74 hidden development at left end. He could develop very well for our future. Adoree Jackson, Jonathan Jones, Garrett Williams, Givens from this draft. All solid players right now. I think we can do great. I think we can do great this season. Once again, especially with a brand new starting quarterback. I just hope we keep the same pace that we did last year. And at the midseason mark, we're actually 2-4. I don't quite understand why. We have Justin Herbert, we have Saquon Barkley, we have a solid O-line, we have T. Higgins, Darius Slayton, Michael Mayer, Evan Neal, Andrew Thomas. Everybody's doing fine. Xavier McKinney is still a superstar. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm not quite sure why this is happening. 27th in offensive yards. That'll do it. That'll definitely do it. And on the defensive side, we are 13th. Justin Herbert has 1,500 yards, 11 TDs, and 3 interceptions. We might have to change up the scheme. Saquon Barkley has 440 and 8 TDs. Receiving, T. Higgins has 479 and 2 TDs. And Darius Slayton has 324 and 2 TDs. And Michael Mayer has 4 TDs on the season. TJ Edwards with the most tackles. TFL's Kayvon Thibodeau has the most with 5. And DeMar Campbell, the rookie, has 5. And Azeez Ojulari has 5 as well. Dexter Lawrence has 2 sacks. Leonard Williams has 2. And Campbell has 1.5. And picks on the season, Kayvon has 1. Jonathan Jones has 1. Julian Love has 1. And Garrett Williams has 1, and so does Adoree Jackson. Okay, so basically, I think we just have to change up the scheme. Maybe not the playbook just yet, but with Justin Herbert on the team, I'm sure it's because he's actually a good quarterback. We'll try to see what we can change. Actually, the offensive scheme that we are running is the best one, so we kept that. We changed up the playbook to make Justin Herbert more comfortable and just give a new playbook to the team, but I guess we have to look at who is ready to negotiate right now. Jonathan Jones, we have negative 160 in cap, so it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to get any of these players, and it doesn't seem like I want to get any of them regardless. Mark Glowinski, 32 years old, right guard. We don't need him. Darius Slayton is 27. Azeez Ojulari would be somebody that I would want to keep for the future. He's pretty solid. Jonathan Jones, no. I mean, I could figure out how to empty up some cap space, or I could just wait till the offseason to see if some cap space frees up, because the midseason market's always kind of not 100% on what the cap space is going to be. But we'll look at the mock draft since we are 2-4, 2-5. We have a left end at the top of the draft. QB, right outside linebacker would be great for us. And it has us taking one at the 8th pick. I wouldn't mind it. Especially if I don't have Azeez Ojulari. Getting a new one, getting a top round outside linebacker would be great. So that would be pretty ideal for right now, but we'll just have to see how that goes towards the end of the season, and hopefully we can turn this around as we are an 87 overall team. And at the end of the season, we turned it around and made the playoffs with a 9-8 record, third in the NFC East. And we are facing an NFC East rival in the first round of the playoffs on the wild card. And our lineup, Justin Herbert's up to a 92. Saquon is back up to a 99. Wide receivers look solid. Evan Neal keeps developing. Everybody's doing good on the offensive side. On the defensive side, it still looks about the same. So could be a situation that we trade up to get an outside linebacker just because we won't have one this upcoming season if we're not able to sign Azeez Ojulari. But we'll have to see how that goes at the draft. Stats and awards, though. 20th in offensive yards. Justin Herbert seemed like he picked it up after that midseason mark. And 27th in defensive, but we're 9-8. 4,400 yards, 32 TDs, and 15 interceptions. Not a horrible ratio, but could be better as a star quarterback in the league. 1,300 yards and 18 TDs for Saquon Barkley. Receiving, T. Higgins had almost 1,200 with 4 TDs. Slayton had 1,000 with 7, and Michael Mayer had 908 TDs. Defense, TJ Edwards, of course, is the leading tackler. Campbell had 14 TFLs. Lawrence had 14, and Kayvon Thibodeau and Leonard Williams had 11 sacks on the season. Dexter Lawrence had 10 with his new contract. Campbell had 7, and Leonard Williams had 5.5. Interceptions, Bobby Okereke had 3 interceptions. Julian Love had 2, and Adoree Jackson had 2. So for us being one of the lowest ranked teams in the league in terms of stats, it's not horrible. It's not horrible right now. I think we just have to keep this momentum going into facing the Washington Commanders with them having Terry McLaurin on the team. So we'll have to see how we do, but we'll worry about the college players when the offseason comes. And on the first drive of the game, with us getting the ball first, we're not able to do anything, and we have to punt it, but it's not that far. They end up going downfield and getting a field goal, and we are just getting stopped right now with penalties and not being able to convert on anything at all, but they were not able to do anything on that drive as we get into field goal range and tie up the game 3-3, and then they go downfield and get another field goal. This is a very low-scoring game. It seems like the defenses are showing up right now. First and 10, we're getting into scoring range, and that makes it 10-6. We are up by 4 points against the Commanders, and they end up punting it back to us. It's towards the end of the second quarter right now, and we throw away the pass with 40 seconds left on the clock, and we just have to not let them get into field goal range before the clock runs out. 4th and 1 is not going to be enough for them. 26 seconds left on the clock, though. We have a chance. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 3. They just run out the clock on that one. Play the safe route as the Commanders get the ball first and are not able to get much but a field goal to knock it down to a 1-point lead for us as we're not able to do anything on our drive. The Commanders are going to go downfield and get another field goal. They have gotten 4 straight field goals with no touchdowns at all. As we get into field goal range, 3rd and 8, we're in the red zone. 1st and goal, we just might be able to get it, and we do. 17-12, making it a 5-point lead for us. And our defense stops them just enough to make them punt it since they were so close to our touchdown. 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left with 3rd and 6. Getting into the red zone, not enough to get the touchdown. And they just might go for the field goal to make it an 8-point lead. The Commanders seem to have some momentum, but not enough. 4th and 15, and they tried to go for it and were not able to do anything with it, and that is going to be the game as we run out the clock with Saquon getting the rushes and Justin Herbert kneeling the ball, and we move on to the divisional round, giving us a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And in the next round, we are facing another NFC East opponent in the Dallas Cowboys. This playoff run cannot get more difficult for us right now, but we have to be able to come out on top as Micah Parsons is still a pivotal defensive piece on their team. And the Dallas Cowboys start off with the ball, but are not able to do anything on the first drive as we get a quick start to the game and are able to get the first touchdown 7-0. And the Cowboys want to answer back, but are not able to. They turn the ball over back to us. 2nd and 15, 3rd and 7, 1st and 10. And we are making strides down the field, but not enough to get into field goal range. And we punt it back to them as a touchback. And they get a long rush to tie it up. 7-7, and we turn the ball over. They're at the 42, 49 with 4th and 16. They have to punt it now. Our defense showed up when we needed them to. 4th and 2, we have to punt it again, and our defense is going to have to keep saving us right now as they let them go downfield and get another touchdown right before the end of the half. As we get the ball first, but 4th and 1 is going to have to make us punt it back to the Cowboys. 1st and 10, and they're going to go downfield and get a field goal, not a touchdown. 17-7, we need a touchdown to get us ahead in this game. Devin White is on the Dallas Cowboys, and we get the touchdown. 17-14, we're only down by 3 right now in the third quarter with a minute left. Start of the fourth, they're in the red zone right now. At the 11, at the 3, 2nd and goal. A penalty knocks them back. They're at the 1, 3rd and goal, 4th and goal. And they're going to take the field goal. We could take the lead with the touchdown right now as we get into the red zone with a 15-yard penalty on the cornerback, 3rd and 9. And we get the touchdown, 21-20, up by 1. Our defense has to show up, and they do just that. With Brian Anger punting it back to us, 3rd and 5. We have to convert, and we throw an interception to Devin White. 2nd and 17, but then they get a 26-yard reception, 3 minutes left in the quarter, and they get a touchdown. Dak Prescott gets sacked for 7 yards, probably on the 2-point conversion. They're only up by 5 right now. We're getting downfield, 2nd and 10, 1st and 10 at the 19, 2nd and 10 at the 19, 3rd and 7, and we get the touchdown with a minute 30 left and the 2-point conversion. We're up by 3. They can get a field goal to tie it up, and they do just that with 8 seconds left on the clock. We're not able to do anything. We run out the clock. And we get the ball first. We have to be able to get the touchdown to win this right now. 1st and 10. We get into close scoring range right now. At the 8, because a negative 2-yard rush by Corbin. At the 1. And we get the touchdown. Is this the new playoff rules for this round? It is. They get a chance. Oh, our defense almost finished them off. 3rd and 8. And they get the touchdown too. Oh my goodness. I think it's sudden death now. 3rd and 7. 4th and 3. And we punt it to them. 1st and 10. 2nd and 12. 3rd and 12. 4th and 6. And they punt it back to us. I think this is sudden death now. All we have to do is get into field goal range, and I think we just did it. We move on to the NFC Conference Championship, beating 2 of our NFC East opponents. 39-36. What a good game between the Giants and the Cowboys. And in the NFC Conference Championship, we are facing the Seattle Seahawks. We're both 9-8. Honestly surprised to see them in the NFC Conference Championship, but my Seahawks franchise, they would have been going to the Super Bowl every year with the way I was playing with them. But we'll see what happens in this conference championship. Giants do start off with the ball, and we're getting into scoring range very quickly, and we end up getting the first touchdown, 7-0, and the Seahawks are trying to answer back in some way, but they're probably going to have to settle for a field goal here. 7-3, we have the 4-point lead that we could maintain, but we don't get into any sort of field goal range. We make them punt it back, though. We have a chance now. 2nd and 8, 3rd and 8, 4th and 7, and we have to punt it back to them. We had them in a tough situation, but they got out of it and ended up still punting it back to us, and we have a chance to get the touchdown when we throw a pick to Jordan Brooks. And the Seahawks are going to be able to go downfield and possibly score before the 5 seconds are up in the second quarter, and they knock it down to a 1-point lead for us. And they start off with the ball in the second half and go downfield and get a touchdown and the 2-point conversion to DK Metcalf. 14-7, we're down by a touchdown now after being up for most of the game. 4th and 8. and we missed a 65-yard field goal. But we got the interception with TJ Edwards. We have a chance now. We have a chance to get the touchdown right now and put us in a good position. A 10-yard penalty by Ben Powers, our left guard, 3rd and 5. 4th and inches. 1st and goal, we went for it. 2nd and goal at the 1. And we get the touchdown, tying it up 14-14. And the Seahawks have to punt it back to us. 2nd and 6, 3rd and 9, 4th and 9. And we punt it back to them. The Seahawks have to punt it back to us too. It is a back and forth defensive game right now as we punt it back to them again. 3rd and 13, but they convert on 3rd down. 2 minutes left. The 2-minute warning has hit. 2nd and 9, 2nd and 19, 3rd and 13, 4th and 7, but they're in field goal range, so they're going to take it. Up by 3 now. And we turn the ball over. We turned it over, and the Seahawks are going to possibly win the game with Daniel Jones on their team. I just saw that. Oh my gosh. We just got beat by our former quarterback in the NFC Conference Championship. And at the end of the 2024 season, the Seahawks get blown out by the Chiefs. It's not surprising. Campbell wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. He might have gotten a development upgrade, but we should have been in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. That turnover shouldn't have happened for us, but we go into the offseason with negative $5.83 million. So this is going to be a draft-focused offseason. We have to see what happens. Yeah, we're going to have to let these players walk right now. See what we're able to do in free agency. We'll take a look at the mock draft. I think I'm going to end up trading up in this draft just because it seems like the best case scenario for us to get an outside linebacker. Just depends on which one is better, either Tyler Stern or Marvin Williams. But we're all the way down at the 29th pick. They have us taking a halfback. Jalen Corbett. I mean, Saquon is still being Saquon, and Jalen Corbett doesn't look like he's that great. So we'll have to see what happens in this free agency, see if we make any trades, either trades up or trades to empty salary cap space. That's probably a little bit of an overpay, but we're sending our late 2nd-round pick and a 3rd-round pick this year for an early 2nd-round pick from the Bears, more because I have a plan in place on what I'm going to do to get into the top picks of the draft. I have to include this too, and then I have to get a specific player by the name of Leonard Williams, who has a lot of cap space that we don't really need to have on our team, because the player that I'm trying to get is a defensive end. I'm trying to solidify that. I should probably hope to free up some cap space this offseason just because we need to, but is this going to glitch again? All right, we're sending a 2nd-round pick next year, a 3rd-round pick next year, and our 1st-round pick this year to move up 9 spots in the draft just because I'm trying to get this trade done. Hopefully it works now, because if it doesn't, then I'll really be screwed. But I'm trying to get this trade done with the Rams right now to get their 4th overall pick, and it would help me with my cap space. It would help me overall, and it's going to do the same thing again. 1st-round pick, the 18th pick, 2nd-round pick, and Leonard Williams for the 4th overall pick. Thank you. I would have been screwed otherwise. We get the 4th overall pick. I will show you why. We're also negative in cap, but I'll show you why I did that. I thought I was going to free up some cap doing that, but it's fine. Byron Betts and Derek McGriff are both defensive ends that we can use at either side of the ball, but I would like to get Byron Betts. If not Byron Betts, if he ends up getting taken by some miraculous miracle, Jason Wooden is here as a cornerback, and he's a top 5 projection. I know that probably the right decision is probably an outside linebacker, but I think we can find one in the draft other than those guys right now, just because I'm not too convinced about trading up just for them. I like Byron Betts in terms of his stats. I like Derek McGriff, so if either of those players fall to the 4th spot, I'll be more than happy to take them. But I'm trying to solidify my defensive line. Leonard Williams was taking too much money. I'm sure that money's going to free up. That negative seven mil is not going to be there for that long. Yeah, right end is probably the position that I'm looking for in this draft. But I have to look at what I can do with my other second round pick and see if I can work some magic. All right, we are sending our second round pick, a 6th round pick this year, and a 5th round pick next year to move up 18 spots in the second round. I want to be able to have kind of a late first pick in terms of getting an outside linebacker right now, because it seems like that's the only way we're going to be able to get anybody on defense at the moment. We have all our offensive players secured, so I'm going to take a look at the outside linebackers, see if I can find any that are worth it in the second round. Ooh, Cedric Turbin, elite speed, B awareness, A hit power, A tackle, a run stopper. I would not mind having Cedric Tolan on the team. And I think as a backup plan, we're going to put Cordell Muldrow. Pass coverage, elite speed, elite jumping, elite acceleration. Can probably go up and get that pick if he wants to. A pursuit, B man coverage, A awareness. Yeah, I'm going to have him as a backup plan. Ooh, Sheriff Mitchell looks good. Elite acceleration, elite change of direction, and elite speed. His skills are good with A hit power, A tackle, A block shedding. It's a run stopper. Might have to go with him. And as we are in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Dolphins are the first overall pick, and they take the QB out of FIU, Ken Coleman. Wow, QB out of FIU. Brandon Black goes number 2 to the Bears. And the Saints take Derek McGriff, so we're going to have to take the power rusher. Derek McGriff is out of USC, but Byron Betts out of Oklahoma. I think I'm pretty convinced on him. A power rusher. Physicals look good. Skills look good. Just hope that he ends up panning out. Hidden development, 86 strength, 80 speed, 83 jumping, and 84 acceleration is going to help us a lot. We need to get the left outside linebacker now. Wow, and both of the right outside linebackers I had going in the second round are not here anymore. So we have to take Cedric Turbin at this position here. Run stopper, elite speed. Could be very good. It's a difficult choice now. But I think I'm going to take the man that's supposed to go at the position that we're at. If he doesn't end up being that good, then just going to have to roll with the punches. Out of Louisville, normal development. Damn. 86 speed, 78 strength, 80 jumping, 77 agility, and 88 acceleration. We had to get a left outside linebacker. And at the start of the season, the offense looks just about the same as it did last year, just without Darius Slayton, which had to be done. I'm not paying him for what he wants. Betts is a 74 overall. Hidden development, Turbin's a 78, but normal development, but he's still a high overall. He could possibly get up there. Adoree Jackson, Givens, Garrett Williams. Our top 3 cornerbacks are pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with it right now. I think we can make a push for the playoffs again this offseason. The rookies just have to develop, and our offense has to keep performing the way that they do. So we will simulate to the midseason mark and see how this team does. And at the midseason mark, we are 4-2. Wow. Okay. Bit better than I expected, but 15th in offensive yards, or 14th in legacy leaderboard, and 14th in defensive yards. Justin Herbert has 1,700 yards, 15 TDs, and 4 interceptions. Keeps proving that he is a franchise quarterback. 589 yards and 5 TDs for Barkley on the team. Receiving, T. Higgins has 457 and 2 TDs. Michael Mayer has 445 and 1 TD. And Isaiah Hodgins has 272 and 5 TDs. Our defense, Givens has the most tackles as a cornerback. TFLs, Betts has 6 TFLs as our right end. Wow. Dexter Lawrence has 5, Bobby Okereke has 3, and Campbell has 3 as well. And the other rookie also has 3. Kayvon has 5.5 sacks. Dexter Lawrence has 4.5, Betts has 2, and Campbell has 2. Our outside linebacker does not have any. Garrett Williams has 2 interceptions. Adoree Jackson has 2, and Givens has 1, with TJ Edwards also getting 1. Okay. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. We can go ahead and see if anybody got any development traits in terms of the rookies. The 2 rookies that we got legitimately. The rest of the draft wasn't very eventful. Bet still hasn't gotten anything, and Turbin is still a 77 overall. Need Bets to get something good. Need him to get something good, but we're doing pretty solid right now. Xavier McKinney is down to star again. I just saw that. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens at the end of the season. We have to see who is ready to negotiate right now and how much money we have. We have $60 million. Kayvon Thibodeau, Ben Powers, Evan Neal again, who hasn't developed at all. Wan'Dale Robinson, 2 of our wide receiver threats. I want to keep Kayvon Thibodeau. I do want to keep Kayvon on the team. It would be good to keep him for the long run. I'm excited to sign such a great offer. So we lock down Kayvon before we get into free agency. I think we'll worry about everybody else when it gets down to it. Evan Neal still hasn't really proved anything to me, but I also don't know what this free agency is going to look like. He doesn't want that much money, $46 million. I'll give him this if he'll accept it. Happy to sign with the organization. A 2-year deal for Evan Neal brings us down to 41 mil. We can deal with everybody else when it comes down to it. Yeah, I'm comfortable with those 2 signings right now. I think we can really make a push for the playoffs if we keep playing the way that we are right now. And after the midseason mark, we fell apart as a team. 9-8 brings us to the bottom of the NFC East. Not enough to make it to the playoffs. We lost a tiebreaker to 8th in offensive yards and 32nd in defensive yards. Jeez, 4,600 yards, 38 TDs, and 10 interceptions for Justin Herbert. Rushing 1,518 TDs for Saquon Barkley. Receiving, T. Higgins had 1,200 with 8 TDs, and Michael Mayer had 956 and 6 TDs. I think these guys are on their way out. I'm not going to spend more money on them. Defense, TJ Edwards had the most tackles. Campbell had 16 TFLs. Dexter Lawrence had 13 and Betts had 11. Sacks, Thibodeau had 12. Dexter Lawrence had 11 and Campbell had 3.5. Interceptions, Adoree Jackson had 5. Givens had 2. TJ Edwards had 2. And so did Garrett Williams. Damn. I really thought that we were going to finish off the season well. We'll see if our right end got any development trait from his hidden development. And he is star development as well. Turbin's a 77. Betts is a 75. We have to see what we can do in free agency. I think we have about $40 million right now to work with. So, see what magic we can work. And at the end of the 2025 season, the Chiefs win it once again. None of our players win anything, and Mac Jones is on the Chargers. Very, very interesting. The Chiefs won by only a touchdown against the Vikings. Wish we could have made the playoffs, but we're going to have to see what we can do this free agency. Not too sure on signing Ben Powers. He is 30 years old, 82. Isaac has to go. How much money does he want? 1 year, 6.64. I'm going to have to wait to see what happens in free agency. I'll bet against other people in free agency. We have to see what free agents there are. All right, and the 3 players that I am trying to go after right now is Sauce Gardner, Daniel Carlson, and Rashad Bateman. Trying to put somebody next to T. Higgins again. We have Xavier Hutchinson to run the wide receiver 3. Sauce Gardner, a certified cornerback 1. We have some solid cornerbacks, but I think that's probably one of the main issues on the team. And Daniel Carlson, we don't have a kicker. Need to get one at some point. We're going to evaluate these offers. They all decide, and Sauce and Rashad Bateman end up coming to the team. Daniel Carlson is the last one to make a decision, and he's going to end up coming as well. It really was all about that, to be honest. I think that we're going to be pretty solid now. I don't have a left guard or right guard. I'm planning to get that in the draft. I just had to see how this went. I was going to go after DK Metcalf, but I think cornerback is a bit more of an important position than that. Oh, we have to see if our left guard got taken, and he did. He did. That's unfortunate. But I wasn't going to pay as much as he wanted to. He wanted a lot of money, and that was going to take us into negative cap. So I'll worry about the left and right guard in the draft. Hopefully we can get the first and second round pick right. And since we do have the 18th pick in the draft, we can't really do much in terms of moving up. I'm not going to overpay for it either, so we're going to advance to our user pick. Caleb now, a quarterback, gets taken by the Titans as they did in the real-life draft this year. Left guard is what I'm basically looking for right now. Brandon Winter, right guard, Jimmy Steen. So I'll take the left guard right now. I wasn't very convinced on Brandon Winter. I liked Larry Logan a lot more. So since he is here, I am going to take him. He is agile, has elite change of direction, elite agility, better stats than the other guy. The other Winters had D pass block power, B pass block finesse, D run block, and D run block finesse. So I'm going to go ahead and take Larry Logan here. Hopefully he ends up panning out. Hidden development, 91 strength, 79 jumping, and 81 acceleration is what I need right now. We need some good guards to replace what we had. And in the second round, I am looking for my right guard of the future, and hopefully he is here. Jimmy Steen is here. He looks solid for a round 3 to 4 projection. Agile to UCF. Physicals are solid. His stats is what stands out to me. A run block finesse, B pass block finesse, B run block. I'm going to go ahead and take him. Hidden development in the second round, late second round. 85 strength, 78 jumping, and 80 acceleration. Hopefully he fills in that position very well. We need our O-line to still be solid around Justin Herbert. And at the start of the season, our roster looks like this right now. 75 overall left guard and 74 overall right guard. I'm happy that those picks ended up panning out. Evan Neal is an 81. Wide receiver core looks solid with our quarterback still being a 92 overall. Defense looks solid too. I think we just have to show up. Sauce is a 92. Our addition to the team right now, our biggest addition to the team right now. Turbin's up to a 79. 87 overall team. We really just have to perform well. I think we have the capability to do it. We have the overall to do it, that's for sure. But I'll look at these trade offers for Tanner McKee. If they're a bunch of BS, then I'll just keep him as a backup. I don't need a center. Tittman has been fine for us. We're just going to simulate to the midseason mark and see how everything goes. And at the midseason mark, we are 4-3. We haven't had a bye week yet, it seems, but we just beat the Cowboys 35-32. Everybody looks good. The whole starting lineup or whole offensive line is star development, which isn't bad at all. Defense still looks the same. So nothing to be mad about, but nothing to be going crazy about. We have to look at the stats on the season and see how the team is doing overall and see what the issue is, because we are 4-3, not the best in the world. 12th in offensive yards, as Justin Herbert is doing pretty decently. 27th in defensive. That'll do it. 1,800 yards, 14 TDs, and 4 interceptions for Justin Herbert. 647 yards and 8 TDs for Saquon. Receiving, T. Higgins has 435 and 3 TDs, and Xavier Hutchinson has 404. Michael Mayer with 397 and 2 TDs. Defense, Bobby Okereke has the most tackles on the season. Campbell has 7 TFLs. Thibodeau has 6, and Lawrence has 6. Sacks, Campbell has 5, Thibodeau has 5, and Lawrence has 2.5. And interceptions, Julian Love has 2, Sauce Gardner has 2, Garrett Williams has 1, and Xavier McKinney has 1. Okay. All right, well, not much we can really do right now, but just look at who is ready to negotiate. With 27 mil in our cap right now, we have a lot of the older players getting off contract. Adoree Jackson is 30 years old, but an 82 overall. Julian Love is a strong safety, 28 years old, 82 overall as well. Michael Mayer is somebody that I would like to keep for the future, and so is Joe Tittman. So I think I'm going to worry about re-signing the younger players for sure. Yeah, Michael Mayer I'm going to re-sign right now, just to make sure he stays on the team. Player-friendly 5-year deal. Offer is perfect. We have 19 mil left. I'm going to sign Joe Tittman because offensive line is the most important, and he wants to stay for another 2 years. 11 mil left. The punter would be ideal, and so would Garrett Williams. I think I'm going to get both. I think I have enough to do both right now. Neutral. Any future deals need to account for his interests, so we'll worry about that in the offseason. And Garrett Williams, This is exactly the offer that he wants. So CB3, CB4 is happy with that. Xavier Hutchinson is probably going to have to wait till the offseason. Tanner McKee is going to be off contract. I'm not too worried about trading him. The only trade that we had this at the beginning of the season was for a center, and we already have that. So we're going to simulate to the end of the season, hopefully making it to the playoffs. But we're tied across the entire division at 4-3. And at the end of the season, we go 8-9. How are we going to make the playoffs? At the end of the season, 10th in offensive yards, 19th in defensive. Justin Herbert had 4,400 yards, 34 TDs, and 10 interceptions. He's the definition of consistency right now. 1,500 yards and 20 TDs for Saquon. 8 years into his career, T. Higgins has 1,009 TDs. Hutchinson has 1,011 TDs. Rashad Bateman has 892 and 4 TDs. Defense, Bobby Okereke has the most tackles in the season. It seems like TJ Edwards is getting older. Campbell had the most TFLs with 12. Lawrence had 11, and Betts had 11. Sacks, Campbell had 10.5. Thibodeau had 9.5, and Lawrence had 8. And interceptions, Sauce Gardner had 4. Xavier McKinney had 2, and Julian Love had 2. Julian Love is going to be off contract this offseason. We have about $4 million right now to work with. It's going to be difficult. It's definitely going to be difficult. I think we have our first and second. I don't think we have our third this year. Going to have to make the right decisions. And at the end of 2026, the Ravens beat the Packers, and none of our players won any awards. We really have to be able to turn it around right now. Lamar Jackson won Super Bowl MVP for the first time in his career, 35-18 against the Packers. I'm sure they have Jordan Love and everybody else that they still have on the team. We're a 90 overall, but yet we're not making it to the playoffs. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to re-sign anybody with $1.2 million in cap room. I try to look at the draft a little bit, but I still need to look at the combine results. Might be able to replace Julian Love. It's just the remaining positions after that. All right, we are trading our first-round pick and 2 fourths for the 4th overall pick. I'm trying to draft for value right now. I did not realize that we were so high in the draft, so I took advantage of it. There is a left outside linebacker that I could get right now, and I think I'm going to trade the one that I have at the moment for a strong safety, just because the strong safeties in this class, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to get him. First of all, I don't know if my pick is high enough to get him. If it's not, then maybe I make a trade in the draft. It just depends how everything goes. Cornerback is a possibility. It's just also another position that's not great. I also don't need cornerback as much after looking at my cornerback room. I have 3 solid ones. I don't think that I need much more than that. So strong safety would be the most ideal situation. Earl Martin seems to be pretty good. Physicals, solid. He has elite speed. I think he's a speed rusher. He has B finesse, B hit power, B pursuit, A tackle, A awareness. I mean, it's basically just to replace what we have right now at our outside linebacker position, just because doesn't seem like he's doing that well for us. And I think we can get more trade value out of him than just keeping him on the team, because it seems like we need strong safety and all those other positions a little more. So we are going to see how the draft falls, though, because Leo Lofton also looks pretty good. It will be a difficult position between the two since they're so evenly matched. But it really just depends. But I'm planning to take an outside linebacker and then see how the draft falls. And if it doesn't fall in my favor, then I would trade away my outside linebacker to then get a strong safety on somebody else's team. But we weren't able to do anything in free agency, so we're just going to keep it pushing to the draft. And with the first pick in the draft, we're going to go pick by pick right now. Leo Lofton does go to the Broncos, so basically sets up our decision. Shepard goes to the Dolphins, and Harvey Lynn goes to the Jaguars. So now we get to pick our outside linebacker and see if the strong safety ends up falling to us later in the draft. But left outside linebacker Earl Martin looks solid, 6'4", 250 out of Tennessee. Got to see if he's normal development. You got to be kidding me. Oh, no. I didn't even read the stats, but might be high in overall, but And at our second round pick and basically our last pick in the draft, I am looking for a strong safety. And he's not here. He is not here. Mario Hambrick. Looks solid, actually. I might draft him. I might draft a strong safety. I will trade either or of the outside linebackers that is not as good as the other. He is 5'9", so if he doesn't end up panning out, then, like I said, I will make a trade. Mario Hambrick, hidden development. Could possibly be the next Troy Polamalu, being 5'9", 90 speed, 85 jumping, 86 change of direction, 91 agility, and 91 acceleration out of Florida. Hopefully he's pretty good. He is hidden development after all, so hopefully he fills in Julian Love's position very nicely. Earl Martin was a 74 overall. Oh my gosh. Hambrick's a 73. So we ended up with the same offense as we had last season. Palmer is going to be our wide receiver 3. Seems like it's just a carousel right there. Strong safety is Hambrick. We're going to have to keep him. We can't trade Martin. We don't have the cap space to be able to just trade whoever. We would have to trade a big contract as well, and I don't think that's going to happen right now. So, Martin, a 75 overall is not great. But Turbin's still an 81. We could turn it around this season. We definitely could. It just really depends. I'm going to try to switch up the scheme and see how we do at the midseason mark. And at the midseason mark, we are 5-2. Not bad. Not bad for the midseason mark, but I'm not expecting anything right now. 5th in offensive yards at the moment. And on the defensive side, we are 17th, which isn't horrible. Justin Herbert has almost 2,000 yards, 18 TDs, and 4 interceptions. I think he's tired of losing right now. 589 yards and 7 TDs for Saquon Barkley. Receiving 605 TDs for T. Higgins and Michael Mayer with 401 TD. Defense, TJ Edwards has the most tackles. TFLs goes to Kayvon Thibodeau with 6, Lawrence with 4, and Campbell with 4. Sacks, Campbell has 7, Lawrence has 4.5, and Thibodeau has 2.5, with Betts also getting the same. And TJ Edwards has 3 picks, Hambrick has 3 picks, Okereke has 1, and Sauce has 1. Okay, so we have to see if Hambrick got a development trade at all, and if our left outside or our rookie left outside linebacker ended up getting anything. Maybe even the other young one got something. But defense, he hasn't gotten anything because we signed Jordan Whitehead. We're doing okay. We're doing okay right now. Our offense still looks the same. Riley, 76 overall halfback behind Saquon Barkley. Hidden development. Could take over his role at some point. Just going to have to see. We're more worried about this season than the future right now because we want to win a Super Bowl. So we're going to simulate to the end of the season after we check out who is ready to negotiate. I'm afraid. I'm always afraid walking into these. 38 mil. Jordan Whitehead, Trey Palmer, Justin Cobb. I think all of these players can wait. Saquon Barkley is off his contract. I signed him for a while. That means we've been on this for a minute. 99 overall still. 30 years old and wants a 4-year deal. I'm not sure about that one. DeMar Campbell is up for a contract too. Ooh. This has to be. This has to be it because basically our entire offense is going into free agency and some of our defense as well, but we're not going to be able to sign all of them because we only have 38 mil. We'll have to see how we finish it off. And at the end of the season, we went 13-4, but not winning the conference. Very interesting. That's a very interesting situation. I wonder who was above us. Riley is a superstar. I don't think we need to sign Saquon again. Justin Herbert, still a superstar, but up to a 98. T. Higgins and Rashad Bateman look good. Mayer looks good. Defense still looks solid. Campbell's up to an 89. Wow. Our team is hitting on all cylinders right now. Stats and awards, it seems like a lot of people were 13-4. 7th in offensive yards. And on the defensive side, we were 10th in defensive yards. Justin Herbert had 4,300 yards, 41 TDs, and 11 interceptions. Saquon had 1,619 TDs. T. Higgins had 1,311 TDs. Michael Mayer had 905 TDs. And Rashad Bateman had 812 TDs. Defense, TJ Edwards had the most tackles. Betts had 21 TFLs. Lawrence had 19, and Campbell had 18 sacks. Campbell had 15.5. Lawrence had 11.5, and Kayvon Thibodeau had 9.5. Hambrick had 6 picks on the season. TJ Edwards had 3, and Sauce had 2. Wow, our backup strong safety actually is doing very good for us right now. Okay, well, 13-4 facing the Washington Commanders. I think we should get through this pretty easily, but it's still an NFC East rival. And the Commanders do start off with the ball, but are not able to do anything on the first drive as they get a pick 6. And we get the ball back and have to punt it back to them. Our defense is starting to wake up now as we are able to get a touchdown to tie up the game. And we get a pick to bring us to the goal line at the 5-yard line, 3rd and goal. And a sack by Montez Sweat knocks us back. But we get the 3-point lead with the field goal. But we get another pick. Wow, the start of the second, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 4. 4th and 4, and we take another field goal to extend it to a 6-point lead, and they go downfield and immediately get a touchdown. 4th and 6, punted right back to them, and our defense stops them very efficiently. 3rd and 18, and we convert on 3rd and 18. 3rd and 8, and we're not able to do that. Inside the 10-yard line, Will Daniels passes it away. They get knocked back, 3rd and 14 and 4th and 17, so they have to punt it back to us with a minute left in the first half. We convert on 2nd and 16, 2nd and 10, 1st and goal, 40 seconds left, 2nd and goal, and we get the touchdown to extend it to a 6-point lead, 20-14, and they are not able to do anything before the end of the second quarter. We get the ball back, or we get the ball first in the second half, and are moving downfield very progressively. 3rd and 10, we convert on 3rd and 10, and we go downfield and get another touchdown and the 2-point conversion, 28-14. 4th and 2, we make them punt it. We almost convert on 3rd down, but not enough. It was 4th and 1, and they had the ball at the start of the 4th quarter with Irv Smith Jr. getting the last reception. 2nd and 15, 3rd and 15, 4th and 9, and they tried to go for it but are unsuccessful. We are trying to run out the clock as much as possible. Saquon Barkley running it downfield, but really it's going to get us another touchdown, 35-14, a 21-point lead, and the Commanders are basically done at this point. They get another touchdown, 50 seconds left, and we win by 2 touchdowns to start off the playoffs. What we expected, but still is a formidable opponent, and now we move on to the divisional round. And in the divisional round, we are facing C.J. Stroud and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were 12-5. It seems like their offense is the main reason for that, so we're going to have to be able to perform on the defensive side. As the Bucs do start off with the ball when we're at home, 4th and 12, and we make them punt it away. We are getting into field goal range, but throw a pick to Jeremy Samuels, their strong safety, and they get the ball back but are still not able to do anything with it. As we punt it back to them, we knock them back a bunch, and we end up getting the ball back regardless. We're in the red zone now, 3rd and 9, 4th and 9, and we take the field goal, a 3-0 lead as the Bucs are trying to answer back in some way but are not able to, as we are going downfield, 1st and 10, 2nd and 7, and we get the touchdown, 10-0, and we get the fumble recovered. Wait. Oh, no. C.J. Stroud fumbled it. Then he recovered it, and Bijan is on the Bucs now. 4th and 8. He was in free agency in the last draft. Wow, I can't even say the class. 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, 3rd and goal, and just missed it. Just missed it. We take the field goal, making it a 13-0 lead. 30 seconds left on the clock, and they run it out. We get the ball first. Oh, wow. A big rush by possibly Saquon Barkley, and we take the 2-point conversion, 21-0. We 21 skunk them, but wow. A big pass reception by whoever that was, probably Bijan, because it seems like that's their only option right now. 21-7 as the Bucs have another chance to score but are not able to as we get back into field goal range at the 18-yard line at the start of the 4th quarter. We get within the 10, 3rd and goal, and we get the touchdown, 28-7, 5 minutes left, and we get the pick. We're trying to run out the clock as much as possible. 4th and 5, another field goal. Really will be the dagger there. They try to go downfield as fast as possible. They get a touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but it's not enough. It's not going to be enough for them. We get another field goal, and that's just going to do it. And the Giants move on to the NFC Conference Championship after beating a very young team in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And in the NFC Conference Championship, we have to face the Detroit Lions, who have Trevor Lawrence at their QB1. I must have missed some free agencies because I never saw him going to the Lions. They have an 81 overall defense, though, so our defense has to show up again and really be as good as they have been this playoffs. And with the Lions starting off with the ball, our defense has to be able to stop them, but they're going downfield pretty easily as they get the first touchdown of the day, and we have to punt it away on our first drive. They end up getting a mysterious 20 yards, but have to punt it back to us as we're trying to get a hot streak right now at the start of the second. But a 10-yard penalty by Andrew Thomas is not going to help us. 2nd and 16, but a big rush by Saquon Barkley gets us our first touchdown of the day. A tie game right now, but they go downfield and get a field goal. We are getting into field goal range now into the red zone, and then, we throw a pick to Darius Rush. Wow. But our defense locks them up, and we get it back, but that ruined our entire momentum on the offensive side. The Lions go downfield and get another touchdown, extending it to a 10-point lead. 14 seconds left on the clock. 1 second left, and Daniel Carlson missed a 58-yard field goal. He got signed for absolutely no reason because that was the reason why he got signed. The Giants are moving downfield, and a big reception by Levi Fowler puts us into the red zone, and we get our touchdown, knocking it down to a 3-point lead for them. We knocked them back, and then Jawan Johnson got a 26-yard reception. 3rd and 1, 1st and 10. Third quarter, 2nd and 13, 3rd and inches, 4th and inches, and they go for it and convert. 2nd and inches, 3rd and 2, and they get another touchdown with 1 second left in the third quarter. The start of the fourth, we're down by 10. We have to be able to score quickly. 1st and 10, 1st and 10 again. 3rd and 10, we get the conversion. 12-yard line, 10-yard line, and we had to go for the field goal, knocking it down to a touchdown lead, and our defense locks them up as we are trying to answer back in some way. We throw a pick to Christian Gonzalez. Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. 4th and 5 though. We make them punt it. 2nd and 10. I'm not letting them fumble this now. I got to jump in. Oh, T. Higgins is open downfield. He's possibly going to get the touchdown on this play. Oh, we had a chance. We had a chance. No huddle. No huddle. No huddle. No huddle. No huddle. Oh, my gosh. We had a chance. We can't waste a... Oh. Had to call the timeout. Had to call the timeout. Oh, my gosh. What a play by T. Higgins. I didn't even commentate on that. I'm looking for Michael Mayer. Right there. Right there to T. Higgins getting us the touchdown. Let's go. I'm not gonna take the field goal. I'm not gonna take the field goal. I'm not choking this right now. Jump to the next play, and we make the PAT. 58 seconds left on the clock. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, and we lock them up. And they punt it back to us with 40 seconds left on the clock. I think I can do this. I think I can do this for us. I think I can do it. I'm jumping in. All right, I'm going to try to commentate on this one. T. Higgins, I have him going on a corner route, a deep corner route. He just needs to cut, and he does just that. And we throw a bullet by Justin Herbert and get to the 15-yard line. Let's go. I'm just going to let the CPU handle this. 15-yard line, you can't really mess this up. A 10 at the 10-yard line. 5-yard rush. Another 5-yard rush. 29 seconds left, and we get the field goal. I thought we got the touchdown. That's why I got excited. 27-24. 11 seconds left. 8 seconds left. And an interception by Garrett Williams secures our road to the Super Bowl as Justin Herbert kneels it for the last time and brings us to the promised land. Wow. Wow. I mean, that was kind of part from me with also the route running by T. Higgins, but man, if we didn't have Justin Herbert, that ball would not be placed in the right spot without getting picked. But we move on to the Super Bowl. If our path could not get any more difficult, we have to face the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Back in Tampa Bay. Ooh, we have to outdo Patrick Mahomes. As we do start off with the ball, we are starting off hot. 3rd and 3. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. And we get the touchdown. 7-0. We are starting off with the right energy right now, but they go downfield and get the touchdown as well. 7-7, and we throw a pick. Sauce Gardner knocks it away. 4th and 1, and they punt it back to us. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 3, and we're not able to convert on 3rd down. And the Chiefs are not able to do anything. They turn the ball over 3rd and 5, but we throw a pick again just to Justin Reed. Justin Herbert is not doing well right now as the Chiefs get another touchdown on the day. And 14-7, but we get put at the 5-yard line with Clark Phillips, and 14-14 is going to tie up the game as the Chiefs try to get some momentum, but it's not enough to get them any points on the board. 3rd and 13, 4th and 13, and we are not able to do anything either as the Chiefs throw a pick to Bobby Okereke. Wow, 3rd and 8. Are we going to be able to convert? No, we punt it or we kick it off. Oh, because it was the half. The second half starts off with the Chiefs getting the ball. 3rd and 1. They're getting into the red zone. 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, 3rd and goal, 4th and goal. And they take the field goal. Wow. Okay. 3rd and 1, 2nd and 10, and we get the big reception to Levi Fowler. Who is this man? I have never heard of him. 21-17, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, and our defense is locking up right now. They want this Super Bowl. 2nd and 6, 3rd and 1, we convert. We're getting past the 50, 3rd and 17, 4th and 4, and we take the field goal to make it a touchdown lead. 3rd and 6, 4th and 6. Jeez, our defense is locking up Patrick right now. 4th and 5, we punt it back to them. And it seems like that locking up Patrick Mahomes is not going to work anymore. A minute left. 24-24, but we get past the 50 already. 2nd and 7, 1st and 10. We just have to run out the clock right now. 2nd and 12, 3rd and 8, 1st and 10 because Saquon got a 9-yard rush. 24 seconds left, 20 seconds left, 17, 3rd and 8. Did we get knocked back? And we take the field goal and make it with 2 seconds left on the clock, and that is going to do it. And your New York Giants win the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay at the Raymond James Stadium. Wow. I was not expecting this playoffs to be the one, to be honest with you. I was really expecting to have to deal with the different teams. Really, we had to face a lot of good teams, and I didn't think in most of them that we were going to do well, except for the Commanders, but we basically blew out almost every single one of them, except for these recent teams. Whew. It's a good feeling because this offseason would have been, for lack of better terms, a bitch. But Justin Herbert wins his first Super Bowl finally, and the Giants win their first one in maybe 15 years. And after the 2027 season, the New York Giants beat the Chiefs, and Justin Herbert wins Super Bowl MVP with Saquon winning Offensive Player of the Year. That would have been a tough situation if we had to deal with him leaving, but we did have a good backup to back him up after he left. But that's going to do it. That is going to do it. Your New York Giants win the Super Bowl for the first time in about 15 years, if I'm not mistaken. And let me know who you want to see. Let me know who you want me to rebuild, or if you want me to rebuild a team with a specific player they got this offseason, I'd be happy to do so as well. But yeah, if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.